Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included, right back immediately after our last episode. So back-to-back episodes this time, so I'm sorry if you left comments on the last one. I'm not using them for this one yet. I haven't seen them. Hasn't even come out yet, so hopefully if you leave comments on this video, the plan is to use them on the next video. That's this game. So leave those comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you, as always. And what we're doing today, so last time we built the refinery up. We upgraded all of the wires, and we built this little bad boy over here. Very happy with it. And this time around, it's doing a little bit more of that, you know, those cleanup items, and building a SPOM. So building a self-powered oxygen maker, or machine, whatever you want to call it. And I need to tell them to not do that. No harvesting those. We are currently just still dealing with a little bit of slime lung, trying to kill off the rest of it, trying to make sure it's kept at bay down there if any does end up occurring. And we're trying to expand this too. So really working ourselves away here, getting this sort of thing built out. And I don't know, I'm pleased with it so far. So far it's good. We're going to be ripping some holes in walls as well. You know, just the classic destroying of the landscape as we try and build a proper Drecko ranch sort of dealio. So that's what's happening there. And you can see part of the land. We're seeing more of this hydrogen vent, and of course I think we all know that I will probably just pump that right into there. I like being problematic, so here we are. Now, just before we get on to our SPOM here, I also just want to see, do we have a kiln unlocked yet? It would be in research here. Kiln, where is that? Oh, we do. So, what are you under? If you're not under a station. Ah, yeah, refinement makes sense. I don't know why I was looking elsewhere. Let me put the kiln here. Do I put the kiln there? Yeah, you know what, screw it. Put the kiln there. We'll put it on a 9. Everything will be okay. We'll just, it's fine. Because this is part of the process of making steel. Although I don't have any fossil to crush up. Because see, in order to make steel you need lime. Well, no, I can get lime from all the eggs that we're cracking. It's totally fine. We're good. Refined carbon. I don't remember what do we're taking something and refine. Oh, coal to, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so we just need to get a little bit of refined carbon here. Also, ceramic is interesting. Let me make a singular ceramic and see what happens. And then I'm gonna just make some refined carbon. And can we turn eggshell into lime? Oh, holy shit, I have a lot of eggshells. Okay, let's do that. That should be fine. The other thing I just want to point out real quick, I hate that these are all the same color. I'm looking at them and I'm like, they're all the same. I know the sand and the lime, and it's all fine, but it confuses me. Come on, you can't deny that that is a confusing situation. Okay? We're all in agreement. Now, let's talk about that SPOM. Certainly something that we're going to be building up here. We're going to be working on it today. It's, you know, I've seen a few different iterations of it. I'm hoping I've got enough room here. And I have a picture up for myself as a reference point, but I may just have to deconstruct some of these things. And that's totally fine. I don't really care. But the plan is to put it in here. We actually have enough room. I don't know. It's fine. Anyway, we're going to be building a smaller one. So, and I'm going to leave this 4. So we're going to start it on this level, seemingly. This is what we're going to be doing today. This SPOM is kind of the big thing. I have a few, I don't know, qualms about what they appear to look like. I want I want something more, you know? I want something better than what I'm seeing online, and I'm sure I can't make that myself, but it's okay, we're going to try anyway. Now, most of the SPOMs I see use about 4 electrolyzers. Now, I'm not about that, but I'm also not about that. You know what I mean? So, we're going to just be utilizing... Oh, look at that, another arbor tree. I'm going to be trying to do just 2, because I want to see if I can, you know? The idea of making a bigger one afterwards is totally doable, and I know that probably building a small one doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it is more of a test than anything else. It's kind of, I'm playing with it. It's the first time I'm building a spawn myself, so we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a shot, and we'll see where we end up. Now, for now, I think that this is probably wide enough to make it happen. We've got these Sweetle bugs in here that I don't really want to deal with. Are they Sweetie? Sweetles. Yeah. I don't really want to free them, but we kind of have to. And, yeah, that's me. That's my plan. We're also going to be probably going in here. We're not going to be doing anything. So it wants zombie spores. And I don't think... Yeah, I'm not seeing any zombie spore-esque stuff here, which is good. But I kind of want to go... in here so that I get all this coal for these generators. So we were talking coal as well. Not doing too hot in the coal department. Not doing too hot in the coal department. But it's okay. I also need to domesticate these bad boys so that we get more coal. So in order to do that, it is under... Is it under food or is it under stations? I get this mixed up sometimes. There we go. Okay. Put one of those in. We'll get it built on a 9. And we'll groom all of those hatches, and we're going to start feeding them dirt. This is where we need to keep an eye on the dirt supply. So as you feed them dirt, they'll turn into sage hatches. Sage hatches are not... I don't know. I was under the impression they weren't great. But if I'm able to kind of create a form of, you know, if I'm able to create a form of infinite dirt using arbor trees and the pips and infinite sage hatches, so coal from the sage hatches, that would be wonderful. Also, I paused there because I saw that there was a Drecko over here. And we don't want that. We don't love that even. And also the Dreckos are, of course, going to be something that we do too. But let's just see, how big is this room? Currently 97 tiles, so a little bit too big to be a stable. That's okay. We will be closing it off a little bit. It should be, I believe, 6. Is it 6 high when it's 16 wide? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to just figure it out as we go along. Everything's okay. Everything's nice and slow progress here. It's just smooth and slow. Slow and methodical. But anywho, back to over here, because this is what I really want to be doing right now. Let's get this stuff operational. And as well, talking about this too, I'm planning, I think, the thing is going to be powered itself, really. So you could just kind of hands off, don't touch it. And what I'm wondering is maybe, well, yeah, I could do that. I could also just throw things how I want, you know. I could attach it into here with the hydrogen, or any excess hydrogen I could throw down here and put a hydrogen generator here. That's kind of my thought. Maybe we can do it. If not, it's okay. Also, I want this copper. We haven't had any copper yet in this game. We need it. I need it. It's an emotional need, not a purposeful need. Just kind of while I was dealing with some of the ranch stuff, I noticed that these friends down here are getting a little upset because they are cramped, or at least one of them was just cramped there a minute ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip this open a little bit farther. And if we could do 16 across to kind of make this one consistent with this one as we go, that would be really, really helpful. So we're talking 1, 2, 3, right? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 13, 14, 15, 16. So we'd actually just need 2, just so I do it properly. There we go, build a little wall there, and that's kind of the notification for me that I should not continue farther on there. And if I do decide I want to do something, I can put a door there instead. The space is only, oh, it's a stable, it's 55 tiles, but it's not high enough yet, and that's really because of this polluted water. So I would like to take that polluted water at some point in time and deal with it. But what we'll do for now is put just a ladder down here so that we can deal with it at a later date. So we'll start with the ladder. They'll kind of work on it slowly but surely, you know. And eventually we'll get to that point. It'll be a great time. Now, back to this nonsense. I need to design the SPOM. So we're basing it off of what is, you know, what's called a full Rodriguez. And you know, I've got a general idea that I've got a layout of it. I see how it's kind of built, and I watched a couple tutorials on it. And my plan would be to generally follow it, kinda, sorta, with my own twist. So I do like tutorials. I love to watch them, but I also love to figure it out as well on my own. You know, it's best learning from experience, I find. So we're gonna start. We're gonna first put in just a pneumatic door here, you know, and eventually we can change it into a different door or whatever we want. But that is gonna be the main wall there. Probably the wall up. I mean, actually, I can move it over. I suppose it doesn't have to be. I don't know why I moved it so far that way. Let's put it here. Let's put it here. Say that this is the main wall now. I've decided. So we can go ahead and kind of design the outline there, and we'll start with that. And I'm gonna just take those out. The other thing is, this is a internally, all the heat can stay inside, and that isn't exactly how we want to have it forever, but it's how it'll be for now. I suppose, to be honest, I could even take a conductive wire, run the wire up here, and even power a little door. Totally unnecessary, mostly just for fun. So anyway, we'll put that in and we'll continue onwards for now. So I don't want to put in a manual airlock, it's just going to slow things down. Pneumatic door is fine for the time being. Now, largely what I'm seeing online, I see a lot of, you know, pumps down here. I see some with 4, I see some with this one I'm looking at, it's got 6, which would be, just for, you know, reference, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would be that wide. So I'm not gonna do 6. I feel like that's overkill. Also, I have a very small colony, and odds are I'm gonna keep it pretty small. And if I decide to expand or create another one, I have a little bit more experience and we'll be able to produce another one afterwards. So we're not going to be doing that many, but I will make note of where we were there with that. So right there here. So I'm just going to put in just a little marker here for my own sake. Just there. That's what the size was of the other one, and it was pretty tall too. But what we're going to do is basically, I'm going to take kind of the similar design and we're going to shrink it down a little bit. And we're going to do this big. And then the electrolyzers in my end, they're going to go on either side here. Let me just do a little bit of extra of that. And they use, what we're seeing is manual airlocks here and here. And I've seen this a few different times, and they did this. And something along the lines of, give me another ventilation, a gas pump here. So I'm basically making a mini version of what they've got going on here. And I see internally, usually there were not insulated tiles inside. Insulated tiles on the outside, not insulated tiles on the inside. Let me just go in here and have them rip this all up, and we'll actually build a ladder up the side. So if this is what a door is going to look like, we're going to have it like this for now, and we'll put all of this on a 9 so that they can do it and take care of it, and we'll dig kind of all of that out. So so far so good design-wise. I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm gonna put in a few more things, and I can talk you. I'll talk you through once we've got some stuff in there. So here I am working my little heart away down on my SPOM. Look at this creation, this monstrosity. Don't worry, we're getting there. What is this? Why are you beep booping me? It's approaching a milestone. This colony is about to hit cycle 100. Well, I guess we're gonna do it together. We're gonna do it together as we speed on over to 100. And yes, you can glance over at my beautiful SPOM here. That's semi a disaster. It's all good. It's totally fine. Everything's beautiful. Don't worry. Don't worry. You can't judge me. And here we are, inching closer, 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 closer. And there we go. Celebratory 100. Amazing. We got a little shake there, and there we go. Reach cycle 100 with at least one living duplicate. Very good. Now we've done it. So what I'm doing right now, you might think I'm crazy, and that's okay. Honestly, I think I'm crazy sometimes too. But we are hooking things up here to the power supplies, kind of. We're hooking everything up together. And really, you might be spooked. You might be thinking, well, this is kind of a little chaos machine, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's not going horrible. It's not going horribly, don't worry. Things are coming along. I just need to verify here. 800 is the lucky number, and if we're talking 240, 240, that we're inching up there. That's not good. Yeah, that's already 720, and then plus another, yeah, that's 900. So not ideal, but I don't think everything's going to be running at the same time. So let's just build it all up and kind of see what happens. Again, like I said, I've seen some videos on how to do this properly. I am just doing this more or less for fun to see what I can do with it, and if I think that I can get it done, not better, but in a suitable manner. That's really what we're here for. Just seeing if we're able to figure it out, kind of on our own, without doing it fully on our own, you know, just a little bit of a guide there and testing things out. It's really, we're just having fun playing around like Oni is. It's just an experiment, right? The whole thing is an experiment. The whole thing is just for fun. And I am very pleased so far with how the remainder of the colony is doing, that I just want to see how this part does. It's going decently well. Oh, hello. Yes, give me a blueprint. What is blueprint? Rust. Sure. We accept. We have our little test SPOM kind of put together. It's not, again, this is simply a test. It is not perfect by any means, but we've got our, I'll show you kind of how everything looks, and then we'll run through it. Obviously, there are several things that need to be done, but it's just, again, a little experiment. So there's all the wiring for these things. There's the wiring there. We've got the ventilation of this, which should only be picking up hydrogen, and into there it goes. And then we've got a little bit of a vent right now for this would pick up oxygen and distribute it out there. Right now you're seeing no cooling. You're seeing nothing fancy at all. We've got water actually hooked up already, which is funny because I wasn't really paying attention to that, but here we are. And we can begin to produce oxygen and hydrogen and all that fun stuff now. And let's just take a little look and see what happens. One of the big problems here is that there's so much stuff in here still. We didn't do any sweeping yet, that they're going to be kind of running in and out. But because it's not a sealed system yet, and because it's not actually a genuine SPOM, we're okay. It's totally fine. So without further ado, let's hook this up and see what sort of nonsense happens. So that's going to take up a bunch of power. Those two are going to start producing. And now, because it's eating up all the power, I am going to just do a little snip there. Perfect. And we'll see what happens now. Okay, so in this, we got some hydrogen. Now, the whole thing is that hydrogen should be kind of going out nonstop. This whole upper area should be hydrogen. And I guess, actually, I didn't clear the whole thing out, so that's my bad. But it's okay. It's all good. This is all part of the learning experience, all part of the learning program here. But this is not set up either. So these little digits here, they're not set up to do anything if below 0. If below, let's say 50. Let's do that for now. And really and truly, what needs to happen is hydrogen up top. It needs to fill up top, and then it needs to fill down below. Oh, and we ran out. Yeah, fair enough. We ran out of power because right now we're not producing any power because no hydrogen is being pumped up. As well, to explain this isn't to anybody new, basically hydrogen would go in here and sit in here so that you would never really run out of power. The thing is, I'm not really building an actual genuine SPOM. I've built something, some semblance of a SPOM, more of an experimental SPOM, and it needs a little bit of work, and that's okay. But this is the first one I've ever made, and I'm pretty pleased. It needs you know, a little bit of cleanup, but for the most part, it will function as kind of intended, sort of. It's not self-powered though. That's kind of the main purpose of a SPOM, is self-powered oxygen machine, and that's where the hydrogen comes in. So really, this hydrogen is supposed to in there. Now, I'm wondering if the reasoning here for those excess bits that I was talking about. Oh yeah, okay, so I have made a mistake. I have made a little bit of an error. Okay, just looking at it, I was supposed to put kind of 2 blocks here. Yeah, okay, so I did make an error. That checks out, honestly. That makes sense. Yeah, and that should actually be over here because you might not actually have hydrogen in here. Fair points. Fair points. Okay. All right, we're learning. You know, watching a tutorial is one thing, right? And seeing some pictures and stuff, this is one thing. This is something else, you know, really seeing it for yourself and figuring this out. Now, listen, really important facet of this whole thing, we're producing oxygen. And ultimately, that's all I'm really after right now. I'm happy to have made something, and I'm going to kind of let it just run and do its thing for a bit as we explore how this should work. So we're going to let it do its thing. We're going to let it run for a minute. And it's not really eating up too much power. Like, it's going to be a little bit of a waste, but sometimes you have to have waste in order to experiment properly, you know? So we're going to leave that alone for a minute. We built some semblance of this bomb. We built a little bit more oxygen production, and that's really what's so important. We need to produce oxygen in a more contained manner and more consistent manner. As well, kind of on top of that, having the hydrogen locked up in one spot would be much more beneficial to us than what we have been seeing across the base thus far. Now, part of the problem with this system right now is that the hydrogen generator won't really feed back in. So we will see some waste in that regard. The power will probably be split between this and that, which isn't horrible, but it's not good. It's not great. It's totally fine. Again, like I said, it's totally fine for the experiment that we're running. But long term, we're talking actually continuing on with this sort of design is not going to be sustainable. So we will need to build some more walls up here. So this is one of the things that we do need. And they're gonna be running in and out here, which is fine. So let me just see if I can get them to do this, and we might have to move that Atmos sensor over there. Probably should move it over there, actually. Let me deconstruct. Go into automation. Let me no, I won't deconstruct it yet. I'll put in a new one here, and we can, we'll build the automation line. Oh, good. So they've done that. Perfect. And they can walk through there. Great. And then I want them to sweep the stuff up. Mostly because it's just bad. It's just not great. You can hold sucrose. Somebody build that on a 9, please. And we'll move it after. I know how we feel about dealing with sweeping right now. It's not super important, but For now, anyway, we're going to just take care of a little bit of it so that it can be done. Oh, good. That actually filled up all the way. Oh, we're going to actually be able to solve some of the problem that we've been seeing. That's good. Did somebody build that? Okay. Oh, it's sulfur. It's sulfur. I thought it was sucrose. That's okay. Yeah, we can sweep it like 9 priority, I guess. Sweep the whole thing, make it pretty. What? Sucrose is also not storable. All right, good. That's fine. We'll just store sucrose in there too. And right now, again, we're just pumping stuff out in a place that doesn't really matter, and that's okay. It'll be sorted. It'll be sorted soon. And I want them to rebuild that wiring quickly. And what I'll do, I may just leave that Atmos sensor there. Well, maybe we'll deconstruct it and it'll be okay. But we can pull it out. We could leave it there. We just mostly need to snip it so that this thing is only taking hydrogen gas. So looking at the design, so that's the whole point. The hydrogen is supposed to stay up there. The oxygen is supposed to stay down here. Now, because they ran in and out, we've actually managed to get just hydrogen down here, which is perfect. That is literally exactly what we want. And I'm very happy that that happened. But we are making a little bit of a mess, but it's okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. So these need to be balanced is the other important factor. So again, this isn't a tutorial, by the way. Please don't listen to me. Go watch Echo Ridge Gaming if you want a real tutorial. But I'm just explaining how it works for anybody who's new. The idea is that the hydrogen stays up here. This stays down there. And depending how we set these little sensors here, we can kind of keep it balanced. That's the plan anyway. Storage is unavailable. Really? Yeah, that checks out. That's fair enough. Let's just take a bomb lily seed, and we need to have a little bit more storage in order to pull everything out. This is one of those times where you do actually need to pull those things out, and it's okay that we're struggling a little bit. That's fine. So we'll get them to build that up, and we'll put everything in here. And just taking a look at, let's talk about coal. Coal is still doing okay. Dirt is still doing okay. We are actually, believe it or not, we're up a little dirt, about 5 to 6 tons of dirt from the start of our last episode. And coal, we are down coal, which is not surprising. But we're now working directly with the hatches now. So that's good. 2%. If we give them, wait, what is it? If we give them dirt. So we are feeding them dirt, right? Yeah, we're feeding them dirt. We're going to get some sage hatches, and the sage hatches will produce more coal for us. And we are working on the pips, improving the pips, keeping them happy, keeping them clean, keeping them crisp. We're going to expand this one. We'll probably move an arbor tree down a level. Ooh, they're not going to be able to plant very much in here. Maybe we can do one here. Let's see here. It needs to be 4 tall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they would have 1 spot, 2 spot. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they could plant 3 over here. It would be risky, but they can do it. It may not work. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Anyway. Back to this. They're still struggling to clean. That's fine. Let's take you and copy the settings. And in there we go. So now they're able to round up those things again, and that's all we want. We just want them to round it all up so we don't need to deal with it. If it is below 50, you will send a signal. So it's not below 50. We're gonna switch it to above a certain amount, and I don't know what level of above it is going to be. But thankfully, one of the main things here is that these stop when there's a max gas pressure. So there being a max gas pressure is kind of the most, again, a very important point. Being a max gas pressure means that even if I don't pull out the hydrogen, it's going to sit there, and I'll probably end up pumping hydrogen out into the base, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. I think what I'll do is I'll actually do, if it's above 90. Let's do 900. Above 900, we'll send a green signal. And then we're working on that one. And I'm going to, where's my little snipping tool? But automation and snip. That automation, pause for a second before it does anything stupid, because I know that it will. Just take our little automation wire and hook it up in there. And there we go. So now it'll start pumping whenever we're at that range that we just mentioned. So whenever we're above 1900 in this tile, it should, no, there we go. Whenever we're above 1900, I don't know why below was what I had selected, but here we are. And there are some wrong elements in there, of course, from some sort of mistake I made, but they're there. It's okay. It'll feed into that. There'll be a little bit of an accident. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, what's in the hydrogen gas, carbon dioxide. So it'll take a little bit of damage. I can't really do a whole lot about that. And this is pumping out pretty well whatever random stuff is in here. Okay, so they've cleaned everything up, which is lovely. And I haven't locked the doors, but I did try something different, which is preventing them from going through the doors. So it's not locked, but it is. They're not allowed to go through them. But I think the thing is they're still able to, like, it doesn't show that for me. So like the lock is a little bit more clear. It shows like a locked bolt on it. And anyway, what we're going to be doing is, why is there gas in there that I don't want in there? Are we good? There's no more carbon dioxide, right? Hopefully not. We're going to just need to dump a couple blips out here. So this is what this is for. It's a little sneaky snake that I'm doing here. So we're going to just do that, pump a couple things out, and then I'm going to snip it there. And then I guess I could do the same thing with that, but I don't really want to. What I may do is, let's see here. Let me pull a little sneaky. We're going to try this. We're going to see if it's somewhat sustainable. And let's go from there. So, now, this is going to tell this, well, hey, I need some juice whenever you've got it. And it will hopefully work. There we go. Okay, so we have a somewhat SPOM right now, and that's what we're calling it, a somewhat SPOM. I don't know if it will work all the time. It might need a little bit of a push here and there. I'm just keeping a close eye on it because I want to clip that out. And honestly, pretty content with that, actually. So we need to, if you look at the breathability, we got pretty good breathability throughout the whole base actually right now. We're looking really smooth here. What I'm thinking is we may want to pull oxygen and throw it in a reservoir or something so that we have a little bit of a pile of a supply for a bit while we continue on with everything else. So the thing is, eventually we're going to have atmo suits, and when we do that, I don't really want to pull all of that oxygen from the main lines. It's just a lot to do, so it may be good to have a little bit of backup oxygen in like a gas reservoir, like one of these two. And in fact, I could even take it right from this one here. This one was feeding directly into this hydrogen generator. I think what I could do is just snip it in all ways and throw oxygen into it, and then if I want to move it, I can just move the reservoir and dump it after. So making use of some things that are already around the base, and that's really what the wise choice is, right, as you continue on through this sort of stuff. So I'm going to put this stuff on 7. We're going to have them build, and we're going to build a little bit of ventilation upwards, and really just into this friend right here. So that should be good. And then it could actually be attached that way. That should be fine. And we can even deconstruct this sort of setup. Yeah, that'll be okay. And then we take you and hook that up there. And actually, it should be more like here. This vent, and then I can shut the vent, and then we don't need to worry about that. All right, there's my plan. It's crazy, but crazy is sometimes good, You know, crazy sometimes good. Very pleased with this, though. It looks lovely. It looks lovely. It's my first attempt at it. Obviously not perfect by any stretch. Very much not perfect. However, so far, so good. You know? We'll have to keep revisiting so that we can block that carbon dioxide. It won't take huge damage. It'll just take a little bit of damage, but that's okay. That is okay. I will actually snip this too. So the other thing is, once all these pipes are put in, we're going to be talking that this sort of stuff is going to be great, right? So once all these vents are put in, it's going to be really lovely. We're going to have this probably running a little bit more consistently, and even then the oxygen will just sit in the pipes. And I'm thinking we can put a few different vents here and there across the base, and it'll be lovely. And we're talking at 32 degrees, okay? Not a perfect temperature, not an amazing temperature, but by no means is that bad. We'll just want to keep an eye on it as we continue on, just to make sure that it stays relatively consistent. If it gets too high, it will be bad. Also, this, maybe I need to set to 1950, so if it's above 1950, and then you, maybe I need to do, what exactly is the issue? Is the issue that there's no, that is the issue. Okay, that's fine. Hey, listen, it's okay. I'll just keep an eye on it. I just don't want to be dumping. I don't want to be dumping hydrogen in the base, but if a little bit of hydrogen comes, it is what it is. That happens sometimes, you know? All right, so I just want to see this finish. I want to see them get those pipes in place, and then we'll be good. We'll be good once they finish that. I'll actually put them on 9 so that they finish them now, and you can see it with me. Okay, so they've done it. They've done it. They've done it. We're about to see... Oh, wait. Ahaha, we can finally do it. Let me see the glory that is cutting that stuff out, and snip that now. So we'll keep that there just in case we have something stupid like that happen again. You know, just in case. And so let's attach this now. Look how much look how much oxygen is around here. But let's do what has to be done. That. Amazing. We'll cancel that. We'll just see how well this runs for a minute. Just watch it for a second, see how it does. If it remains self-powered or not as well is a very important point. And that would be keeping hydrogen at about that level. And keeping hydrogen at bay in there. So, yeah, okay. And how are things over here? I just fiddled with the Drecko Ranch again. So we're currently at 81 tiles, but I think we're at the right height now. And ideally, we'd be using insulated tiles up here as well. So we'll just get those put in too. And then we'll kind of dig things up. I'm just gonna grab another set of ladders here, just so we can get that done. And we'll dig things out just so that we can continue on here. And I'll put kind of all of this on a 7 priority so that it does get done. It's not like urgently needed, you know. We can catch that Drecko, move it back in here, and then we can domesticate the Dreckos. I don't think they've been domesticated at all. There's a little bit of food in there, but I know we talked about how I need some more. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just build a few more of them. Not sure how many I need, but there we go. And then a station. We need a shearing station, and it looks like I have enough room, just enough room, over in this corner. And I'll get that built. And then you, printing pod, yes, give me some omelets. We're not taking anybody yet. Not taking anyone yet. Soon, though, soon. So we've got, there we go. Sage hatchling egg. Just what we needed. We're in a good position here. Listen, we're in a really, really good spot. The only thing, I mean, we've got Sweetles here too. I'm thinking that maybe we need to, they excrete large amount of sucrose. What do they eat? They eat sulfur. So I need to figure out something that produces sulfur. So we need something that produces sulfur in order to feed the Sweetles. And then the hatches should be fine. We're got to keep an eye on dirt. We're still okay on dirt. Dirt is still ahead as far as things go because these meal wood require dirt, and then the Dreckos eat it. And then we're good. Also, how big is this room? Are we happy with the room size? 95 tiles. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. 95 tiles. There we go. Let's make it that sweet 96 so that we can fit everybody in here. It's going to be a little bit bigger because of what's going on there. But that's okay. And taking another look over here, making sure things are smooth. Things appear to be running smoothly. Although, sometimes I worry about that. Power supply. Not power supply. Sometimes I worry about that a little bit. Are we good? We're sure we're good. Are we throwing... We are throwing a little bit of hydrogen. You're not... Oh, son of a bitch. This is my problem. I didn't want hydrogen in here, so that ends up being one issue. So we're going to have to play with this a little bit to figure out what exactly the right... Let's do that. Might be too significant a change there. But we need to figure that out so that the hydrogen doesn't sneak down. Yeah, see, it's sneaking down. And then are you getting picked up? You're getting picked up. So you're not doing a good enough job. Let's go down to 1700. See what happens there. See if that solves it. 17 may have been too much. We'll see. We'll see if I see it push down one more. That's where our problem lies. Ooh, it is pushing down a little. And really that should be full. So maybe this should be 1650. And so I think we all know what I have to do now, which is really unfortunate. 1650. Now the oxygen can't clamper up one more. Okay. So this is good. This is a good balance. Anything different than that, we're screwed. It may also be reliant on what I'm pulling from here, because this is set at above 1000. So bear in mind that could also be an issue. It just isn't something I played with. So I think that that's okay, seeing as there's no hydrogen coming in anymore. The problem is that now I need to dump all of that. So I could sort it. Oh, there we go. Actually, there we've resolved the issue already. So the hydrogen is already, it ran out right away. So that's really lovely. We're going to snip this one. And then what has to happen is someone needs to go and disable that building for a bit. Just for now, because all I'm doing is collecting oxygen. That's literally all that this job is us collecting oxygen, nothing else. So somebody's going to go deal with that, preferably. Got sent. Somebody, good. And there we go. This is going to fill up now with a bunch of oxygen. And again, this is going to be a really good indicator of if we're picking up hydrogen, it's causing us problems. It appears to be okay. It appears to be good. We'll just keep an eye on it. And same with up above. If there's oxygen up here, we know that there was a problem. Oh, they replaced that. That's not good. Please go back to what you were supposed to be originally. And they're building up the walls and stuff, and oh my goodness. Well, let's get them to fix that last piece there, and I think everything's going to be good after that. I mean, I'm really pleased with how that went. Oh, that's an unreachable build. Fair enough. And these little units are... The Dreckos are hiding up top here, which is lovely. So they've got a little bit of hydrogen that they can sit in. I'd actually like to pump more hydrogen in here, and it's very likely that I will, so that we've got some hydrogen kind of up there. I hate how it's like freaking out, but it is what it is. So really, really good day. Really lovely day. Beautiful, beautiful job, folks. If you did enjoy this episode, you're enjoying my little experiments here, my little test runs, do let me know down below. Do leave any comments with tips, hints, or suggestions. This episode, I'm actually going to read them for the next one. leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and as always, thank you for stopping by. Happy you did, and I'll see you next time.